Gonna tell you a story, as it were. You can call me Oracle, Zakuna, singing to you. Oh, Gayatri, my Sangita to you. Welcome to the cult, all of you, and the true, and the sock, as it were. And if I do spit and sock, I'll try to make it all for you. Alright, so to finish the list, I got up the Dowser, Mendelevium, Mandela, Vadatu, Nobelium, Usofatana 18, because it was discovered by Nobel, who also came up with dynamite, which requires nitroglycerin, and so I named it nitroglycerin. I'm sorry if that upsets you, the ghost of Albert Nobel. Is it not? Alright, the ghost of Nobel. Laurentium, Lawrence, Abadatu, Rutherfordium, Rutherford, Abadatu. Abba basically means naming. But in like the passive sense as well too, like other. Dubnium, Nagaradatu. There's a big controversy about the naming of dubnium. There's apparently this big thing back in like the 60s where there was like they were called wars, where a bunch of physicists got really pissed about what they were going to call the next elements. Or I'm sorry, chemists. So it's Nagarada-2, the nameless element. Seaborgium, Seaborgavadatu, Borium, Borzavadatu. Niels Bohr is very important in chemistry, I'm just saying. I don't know if it's the same Bohr, but osmium, I'm going with osmium, because it was called that for a while, before it was officially called osmium. Meitnerium, Meitner, Avadatu, Darmstadium, Darmstadt, Nagaradatu. Rontinium, Rontin, Avadatu, Copernicum, Copernicus, Avadatu. Nehomium, Niho, Nagaradatu. Oh, so that's actually a reference to the fact that in Japanese, Japan is called Nippon or Nihon. I think it's I don't actually really speak Japanese. Like I studied it forever ago back in high school, but I would imagine it actually varies regionally whether they call it Nippon or Nihon. That's just my guess though. But a bunch of people discovered Nihonium at once, essentially, and so they just named it after Japan as they did with germanium and rhenium, or whatever it's called. The one that was named after the Rhine River, which I don't think I've got to, which I think I already got to. There's Fluorovium Flyoravadatu, Moscovium Moscow Nagaradatu. Yeah, because it was discovered in Moscow, so it's Moscow City mineral. At least the way with what nomenclature would do. Livermorium, Livermore, Nagaradatu. Tennessee, Rajadatu, Raja Estate. And Oganasan, Oganasi, and Avadatu. That be the ways of the periodical table in the true who. Alright. So, I went and filled out the rest of the that festival list I started to get to last time. So I will start, like I did last time, in February, and I'm going to give you Love Bud, Kamama Jari. I think actually, there's a bit of actual history that might support this theory that so February, Maga, Aquarius, Kumba, Love Image Festival, Herdaya Pratima Kama Virama, or so Valentine's Day. So there's this notion that there's a Herdaya Pratima um, Kava Bija. There's a seed that's actually shaped like the heart image, and that's actually where we get, because this seed was wildly popular back in Rome, wildly popular because it was a natural birth control method. Not a joke. Not a joke. If Mercedes Lackey ever ends up seeing this, I'm pretty sure she referenced that seed existing in the Herald of Valdemar series, like one of the Heralds of Valdemar series, because one of the heralds was given this herb, or and the seed specifically, I think, by his mentor because he'd just gotten married. They were sure they wanted to have kids yet. I could be wrong, but like the chances that an author is, that I reference is actually going to see this, I have no idea. So moving on. So we have the festival for Harmyasaptalukamaya, because love is a primal thing of the primal nether of the Molika Harmya, that'll be it. Alright, moving on. March is Triti Yamasa, and you have the Ramaparma Varama, or the Clover holiday, which is in March, to no small coincidence because of Mahavisuva, the vernal equinox. Also, there is Pisces, Mina, which continues from February. The spring festival, Vasantika, and the fact that the Ramaparma is deeply connected with the Vidyahari, the fairy of the Saptalokamaya. Then we have April, Kaitra. We have Kaitra Kam, which is, believe it or not, the reason April 1st is April Fool's Day in the United States is because of an attempt to make a new to basically replace New Year's, because I don't even know what the reasoning was. I think it had to do with economics, honestly. That's probably why. But so I have Karetia Kam, Divetya Navasam, or Second New Year's. There's also, because April showers bring May flowers, Rain Festival, Varsa, Parva. And now, of course, the zodiac actually starts with Aries at the end of March, beginning of April, with Aries Mesa. Alright, so there is May, Thravavana, and May Akam, or May 1st, which is a Paisakaba Varama. That's a pandemonium holiday, but it's an awesome one, because it's a flower festival! It's a Puspa! It's a Puspa Parva! Yay! We also have, and here in the United States, we have Smarakadina, we have Memorial Day. Also, the Ekam Purnima is the Navavasan of Tri-Wait. So the first, as I understand it, the Tri-Wait New Year is actually in May, and it's on the first full moon. It's actually around the time last year that actually it was this year that I turned this place more or less into a temple just by my asses on the dotties. Actually, at that point, it would be like a Yajate, which it would be a Hallow, which what would you do to turn into a Devalaya? But like, so anyway. There is June, Parvasaha, and there is the Surya Parva, the Sun Festival, usually Lugnasis, because of the summer solstice, Uttayana. It is a Priyadatta Brahma, or an Earth holiday. Oh, way. Oh, way. Uh-oh. Alright, what? Okay, there we go. Lost my notes because I moved my mouse and something popped in front of my view. Let's see. Alrighty. In June, we have Gemini. Huge. Me and my Geminis. I have a long history with Geminis. If any of you who know me, who are Geminis, who are, like, you're probably like, yeah, actually you do. So, there is July Massa, Cancer, Karka. The 4th of July, Katarina Julemasa, Agna Crida. Agna Crida Parva. Fireworks festivals. Agna Crida Parva are always the best. I'm just saying. Like the United States is far from alone in having Agna Crida Parva. We're far from alone from having fireworks festival. We happen to have ours on our celebration of our Declaration of Independence. All right, so moving on. Um, August. Barra. Leo. Ara Nayarazi. Indra Festival. Zakrotava. I actually don't know if the Indra Festival is supposed to be in August, but I basically, when I put this episode together for script wise, I basically assigned a festival or like a day or two to each month just to make sure I like was consistent throughout. Let's see. There is September. Because of the difference in the way like months work, September is literally September because September is an import word into Sanskrit from the modern Yuga. So there's Virgo, Kanya, the Thread Festival, Tantu Parvan. So that's essentially a festival that would be celebrating things like me being initiated through a Depalos through Triway. Because the sash is referred to as a thread in terms of like a Pavitra Sutra, like a sacred thread, like a sacred tradition to pass on. So there's the autumnal equinox, Jala Visuva, 6 months from March. We have October, as we know the Radha, with Libra. And so, because of my history and like understanding like druid stuff, there's a lot that I personally take into for Halloween, believe it or not, for like religious reasons that like honestly scared the bejeebas out of one of my former bosses, like because he didn't understand what I meant when I asked for like Halloween off, and he was like, why? I was like, I don't want to say this, but like religious reasons. And like he got like scared. He legitimately got scared of it. I was like, fine, I understand why you're getting scared because I don't want to get into it, but like you're getting scared about like for the literal opposite reason of like you should like he probably assumed that I was gonna like I don't know sacrifice a chicken or something, but like I don't even know what like I don't even know what he was assuming, but um so I have assigned 3 festivals to three parva to Zvinotaradara for Samhain slash Halloween, which is also All Saints Day, Devil's Night, and and in cases of like old Celtic tradition, like could constitute an entire festival season by itself because it was basically like the 13th month that they would use to account for things like the leap year. Like it would be 4 days in some cases. Most cases it was 3 days, but it would also have like basically a week going in either direction. So there's the Eye Festival, Nayano Saba, which is basically the Barnika Parva, this the mask festival. And like the Barnika Balaka, the mask procession. This is basically like trick or treating. This is Devil's Night when people go out and cause trouble and they're all wearing masks. This is there's also the Great Festival, Mahotsava, which is the big day itself. Going into this is for people who are more religious in terms of like the Mooni and the saints. This is for like Sarva Mooni Dina. This is for like All Saints Day, which I also refer to as Dola Yatra, which is the swing festival, because that's when the gates that were swung open by the Varnika Valaka, by the procession of masks, swing closed. So we can all go back to having relatively normal lives going into the Harvest Festival and going into the Festival of Lights. So then you have November, Kartika, yeah, I got Libra is Tula. November, Kartikatarada. Scorpio, Verskika. Thanksgiving, Danyavara. If you saw me earlier, which I hope you did, you would know that this is actually something I already had the word for. And because it is a harvest festival, a Sasya Parva. And then we go into December, Side note, I was born in December. I was born in the first week of December. That's when my Jean Medina or my birthday is. December, Sahasya. Sagittarius, Kappa or Danusa. Winter. Winter solstice. Yana, and Maha Sagarnti. Oil festival for Hanukkah. Tailot Sava. Feast of Lights, Deepotsava, and Festival of Lights, Deepa Malikitsava. So, that's basically Christmas right there. The Festival of Lights, Christmas tree, Yule log. And, like, I don't know how to explain it in a way that's, like, any faster than that. I kind of got to move on. But, like, they're right there. You got, like, the Festival of Lights. And in, like, the old days, it would have been, like, you know, probably Chandra or Soma, probably the moon gods. But it probably would have been a full-on Sarva Deva Yatra, or an every Deva, every god idol procession. Because that's the kind of thing that would happen on the Mahavarama, the major holidays, the major holidays. So there's and then we come around to January, Parva Maga. Coming up soon, right after Sahasya, because I am filming this in Kartikoa Harda, although it is getting toward the end of it. January, Parva Maga, New Year, Happy New Year, Zubam Nava Varsam, and that is the Nava Varsam Virama Ka Parva, the New Year's holiday and festival. And then we have Capricorn, Makara, and we have so here's a thing for me to end with as Oracle ends this up. So I have here two sets of prayer beads. This one, if you've seen before, which I hope you have, only has 106 beads because it broke before, and I repaired it because that's what you do with things when they are still useful to you, and like you have a good reason to repair them as opposed to replace them because they're completely trash. Because there's an important distinction like you should make between things that are beyond salvage and things that are not. So here is another broken mala that I'm probably going to have to fix. This one has a yak skull guru bead, which is specifically for to help anyone who wears it to remember that, like, you know, death is always there because it's bone. It's bone from something that's dead. So it's always with you to remind you, like, you have this inside you. You have bone inside you. You know why? Because you're alive. This was inside a live thing once. This isn't like the wood of the beads. This was alive. So to remind you that no matter what you do, death could happen. It's a little bit grim, but it's kind of what it is. But that was not what I was going to end with. Well then, I guess I'm going to have to move on for now. Anyway, I really feel like that was a good point. I put out the thing about the mullet so I would get it out quickly and be able to remember the rest of it. Oh well. Alright, well, maybe I'll just have to say it next time. This is Oracle, singing himself out, trying to remember and not stall all day out. Oh, and maybe, as it were see, I know of the ways of they be, and oh, if it were, as I see, I hope you enjoy the way that you be. Alright, you know what, actually, I'll bring this up since I just brought up, you know what? This should be nearby, too. So, alright, folks. A couple of things for if you happen to do, so part of my Mott magic, my, the truth magic, the physical magic thing, was actually doing a whole bunch of Adizadi banishings, like an Asti Adizadi and an Asta Marga, an 8 pathway Adizadi, like for 8 directions. It actually started out in the book as 6, And I was like, that's cool. It's 4 directions plus like up and down. Like, okay, that's cool. And then I did it to like 8, and then I was like, then I added up and down. Then I did center. I think somehow it eventually got to 12. But my point is, uh, that was part of like essentially like my Arizaki like self training, because that's essentially what mod magic is about. It's like self initiation, which is self training. Um, but so here's for if you ever want to in the future do your own calibration festival, because that's what I'm pretty sure it actually would be called, like whatever that word would be, because I don't actually know Gaelic or Scotch Gaelic or really Welsh or really Welsh. Like I don't really know all those things, and there is no word for that in Sanskrit. But however, you can open to begin with open as an I, anamiti, as I've already read, but you also summon to katayati, velaka varnika, to summon the procession of masks. You can varati, varnika velaka, to invoke the procession of masks. And then, when you are done at the end, you can arizati, varnika velaka, and visjati, varnika velaka. Because sometimes you need to not have a mask when you are a maskless dancer, and there is no dancer. There is only the dance. There's only the dance of masks. Anyway, that's me like tying my druidism into this root magic thing. But so when you are doing this in the middle during the Maha Sava, you can align, gatiati, balance, varsti, correct, nirdosi karati, decide, niskanoti, experience, anabhavati, and perhaps make a choice to vixati, to evolve, or if you know really what you want to do, be samananati, evolve into. And then, when you're done, and you have fully assumed your Varnika, and you do not need to keep the Varnika Atman or the mask soul here anymore to like help guide you to fully realize that particular Varnika, you can dismiss it and let it be helpful for someone else. And this is Oracle. Now I'm done. That's all I had to say. Good thing I looked at that page, because I had a few things to add to it every true way. And this is Oracle's Akuna Sangita B. I'll Gayati Sangita next time to thee. Happy all you choose Vapna to be. The Akazastra. Sarasvapna, might up to the Safarnya and thee, through the Hanya to the Yamazana, to be safely spotna for the prey to ghosties, because they are not hungry for thee, because they are of their true we, and I know of they, as you might do, all out of the weave. Happy evening to you. Or morning, or if it be your birthday, happy John Medina to you today. So, let it true that, happy all of you from under the hat.